Well, greetings to all. My name is K. Pradeep. I'm a third year mechanical undergraduate. Well, my topic of talk is a fate worse than death. This is a wide topic, we can choose accordingly. Well, humans these days go into products that deteriorate the environment. For example, plastics. Yes, these non-biodegradable materials deteriorate the environment, pile up, and they don't degrade until it's a million years. Well, coming up to plastics, landfills, the present has population hiking. Well, the population hiking is proportional to the utilization, which in turn creates new problems leading to finally insufficient resources. Well, insufficient resources with an invisible enemy behind, namely piled up, accumulating waste of all kinds. Well, these accumulating waste of all kinds, this would be the human's environment in the future if left unnoticed and prevented. Well, thinking of how the environment would be in the future with all these waste and garbage nearby, we could simply watch a movie named Idiocracy, directed by Mike Judge. Well, this movie simply picturizes the human environment with wastelands and landfills nearby. The movie also shows garbage avalanches that hits multi-story buildings and apartments. And to sum up, numerous possibilities make up the future. Only the unexpected ones become the present, and the forgotten ones become the past. Instead of looking up into the possibilities, it's best to analyze the problems and to create solutions. Well, coming up with landfills and garbage and wastelands, who live there? Yes, people like us, average human society. We have all these wastelands and landfills out of sight, but people do work there. People work the entire day in nearby landfills and wastelands, segregating and cleaning up all the mess, all the waste, so that they could be for recycling. Well, apart from that, daily wage earners and waste pickers find their shelter amidst these wastelands. Well, waste pickers, what do they do actually? They pick up waste, they find it valuable, and they sell it for money and for food. What kind of waste do they pick? Yes, they pick copper from stashed up e-waste and decorables that could be placed in their homes. After that, some children go find toys amidst these wastelands. These wastelands, landfills, what do they cause? They cause land pollution, which in turn triggers up water pollution. Well, living amidst water pollution, it's not thinkable. So, for more elaboration, I would like to present a story referred from the 10th standard English textbook. Will thirst become unquenchable? Yes, Chaya, a wife of 25-year-old astrologer, and her 5 kids struggle for water the whole day, and finally by the afternoon she smiles triumphantly. But unfortunately, the tap that gives out water is impure and polluted. Well, Chaya's story tells out the sufferings if wastelands and landfills are not prevented. Well, this to be known, Chaya is from a slum city nearby Delhi. Well, we may have questions, what is with wastelands? Why am I talking about wastelands? What is with the landfills and the economic growth and the nation's development? Well, these questions have the reliable answer from a research done by Ka-Ming Wu and Jiaying Zhang. Well, in their research, they have answered these questions promptly that these wastelands and landfills are caused by growing nations. Growing nations require much more production from the industries, high urban construction, and domestic consumption. All these may lead up to a high GDP growth, but finally they have an invisible fighting enemy, which is accumulating waste of all kind. We have sought out a lot of problems, we have sought out a lot of solutions for these problems, but wastelands is yet to be done. Coming on to community of people living nearby wastelands, the research of Ka-Ming Wu has more confessions of people living nearby wastelands, and why do they live near wastelands? Well, the confessions of Ling and Chong would give a reliable answer for that question. Well, for Ling, a young adult with his 1-year-old, sees that wastelands are just an unconventional playground for his child. He also sees that he is also not fearing these wastelands. He ignores the effects caused by living nearby wastelands or amidst wasteland. What he wants is that he wants to stay as close as possible to his son while he is at job. This is because he lost his son, who was 3-year-old, back at his village while he was at job. Coming on to Chong. Chong is a young and amicable woman living nearby the cold water village nearby Beijing, China. Well, this woman always wants to keep a cottage, even though it's a one-room cottage, clean. She gets tensed if a 1-year-old child takes up dirt from the cottage, from the ground, and she also knows the neighbors a lot well, as she used to come to the village a lot times during the summer vacation and winter holidays. Well, these wastelands, landfills, what is our concern? What should we know from these? Yes, wastelands and landfill occupy much more area than we think. As a general truth, the earth is divided by 3/3. One is meant for land and the 2/3 is meant for water. This 1/3 of land has 20% considered as landfills and wastelands. 20%. This report says businessstandard.com by the year 2013. And the largest e-waste dump is situated in Central Africa in a place named Agbogloshi. The largest landfill is situated at Brasilia, Brazil, spanning about 136 hectares, says Statistica.com, by the year 2019. Well, all these wastelands and landfills, they accumulate a lot of space, and this causes endangerment to natural phenomena and natural processes. What could be the prevention? Any problem should have a cure or a prevention. Well, this problem doesn't have a cure. Sadly saying, doesn't have a cure, but it has a prevention. It could be prevented if we implement the 3 R's. And apart from the 3 R's, we have another method, that is forming communities that provide zero waste. Well, communities that give out zero waste, is it possible? Yes, of course it is possible. Well, what is the need of plastic anyways? Plastic is required when there is packaging and transportation. Transportation is required when there is packaging. So, if you cut down this packaging and transportations, the need of plastic is eliminated. Thus, plastic need is eliminated and plastic can be eliminated. For a much elaborating example, I would like to include a dairy farm and a living society nearby this dairy farm. If people want products from this dairy farm, they could order with the mobile application, include Internet of Things, and this mobile application might be of less requirement. Less requirement in the sense it doesn't even need internet. It is okay to work with local area network. What could be the use of these mobile applications? Well, the dairy farm owner could have ease of access to information. Thus, he could deliver the goods without packaging and within a container that could be transplaced among the individuals. Thus, the plastic use is eliminated. When the plastic use is eliminated, the accumulation of waste is reduced. Thus, landfills and wastelands are prevented. Well, to conclude my speech, I'd like to say that we humans are the utilizers. We utilize new products each day, producing a lot of waste that is non-biodegradable. Non-biodegradable in the sense mainly pointing out plastic. Well, these non-biodegradable things take 1 million years to degrade and convert into soil. So the best way to prevent such kind of products is to form communities that produce zero waste. Zero waste communities produce zero waste because they have the utilization facilities nearby and thus cutting off the need of plastic. Well, I thank you, and I humbly thank the organizing committee and the staff supports. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.